Okay, Phil, I guess you're going to tell me that all the games are important now, from now until the end of the season, but this weekend, football fixtures have a habit of throwing up really exciting games at the right times, and that's one this weekend, isn't it? Kidderminster at Pimms Park. First league game at Pimms Park, and it's Kidderminster.
It's exciting for me, for sure. Knowing what I've been doing with my footballing career over the last couple of years. And to be fair to Kidderminster, they give me an opportunity to go back into management. A very good friend of mine was director of football at the football club, and he got me the interview, as it were, and the rest is history. And what we did at Kidderminster was almost the escape act, as it were, from the relegation trouble that they found themselves in, and hence the reason why I got a job in the National League. And then had a great season last year in the National League North, of which we were quite proud of where we finished, and unfortunately missed out in the playoffs. To receive the sort of red card after that was a blow, to tell you the truth. It was one of them things. Did I see it coming? No. Was I doing well enough to stay in a job? Probably you would say the answer to that is yes. I think the average win ratio of a manager that gets a sack is in the 20s, and my win ratio was in the 40s. So, why I got the sack, I just never know. But that's football, it happens. And you've got to dust yourself down and get on with it. The BBC then looked after me, did a lot of work in terms of media. And then Mr. Tim Woodward decided to put a phone call into me when his team was struggling, and now I'm here at Peterborough Sports. And then lo and behold, first FA Cup game, we win that one, and then first league game, which is cancelled after 63 minutes. Now this is the National League for you, by the way. And then the first league game at home to Kidderminster Harriers. So as you've just made reference to, you can't write a script in football, but hopefully we might have something to say on Saturday with regards to the result.
And how has this week been? I know you're going to train with the boys tonight. You trained on Tuesday. Is that FA Cup hangover finished now?
It's a difficult one for me as a manager who's been at the helm now in various divisions and various teams and clubs for a number of years now. It's difficult for me to come into a part-time non-league environment where I take things really personally. I take results and performances really personally, and I need to get things off my chest, and I need to share that with the people who are responsible. Performance is down to myself, of course it is, because I put the team out, I put the shape out, etc., etc. But then individual performances must become either costly or beneficial towards how I'm feeling. And I wasn't able to do that until Tuesday evening. You can do Zoom calls and stuff like that, you can call individuals up, but as a collective, I didn't get to see the players until 6:30 on a Tuesday night. That for me is too long. I know I'm a canny age, but I will be getting grey hair, and more than what I've got now, for sure, by the time I finish this gig, down to the fact that I'm probably holding on to a bad result, or holding on to a bad performance, or holding on to a performance too long. Sharing that performance with the players who are responsible for the field is important, that they actually take some ownership and take responsibility for that performance, because as I say, I put the team up, but then the individual crosses the white line, and I think that's the most important part. And what I'm seeing, and what I want to see from now on, is total commitment from the players. If that takes a 5-10 minute conversation via a video call or a Zoom call or a WhatsApp phone call, whatever, on a Sunday morning, then I've got to have the commitment from them to be able to do that. But I really do. I want that commitment. I want that 24/7 mentality. If I pick the phone up at midnight to the club captain or whoever, I'd expect them to answer it, because that's the way I think about football, and I want my players to be thinking exactly the same.
It's interesting. You touched on my next question there. Is there a WhatsApp group? Is there any communication at the moment between the weekend and the Tuesday, and then the Tuesday and the Thursday?
As a psychologist, if you want to call it, of the game, as a psychologist of people and individuals, I'd like that conversation to be coming from them. And when broached the subject about who could and who would be prepared to come in on Sunday. I was disappointed at the answer, which was only 5. I then had 3 phone calls from individuals within the group, and they were young lads. For me, young lads that have got a chance in the game, because that's, they want to get their performance off their chest, and they're probably getting advice from the parents, I would imagine, and the parents are probably saying, pick the phone up to the manager and see what he says. And that for me, just that 5-10 minute chat on a Sunday morning. Now my wife and kids are now going to be complaining that I can't spend any time with them on Sunday morning because I've got 25 of them phoning me up, but that's my life. That's football, and that's football management. Whether it be part-time, whether it be full-time, professional is the word. Full-time, amateur, not happy with that. Professional, you can be professional and part-time at the same time, but it means you care.
Let's talk about tomorrow just a little bit more then. No other game across the other side of town tomorrow, so there's a chance for a reasonable gate tomorrow, which I think Tim definitely deserves. What would you say to people who might be thinking of coming along on Saturday?
I'm quite easily, I don't have to sell it, it's a must-win situation in my occasion. I'm going against the team that I was relieved of my duties literally 3 or 4 months ago. With a new team in town, with a new group of players and a new manager, I've got a score to sell. It'll be feisty, hopefully it'll be a good game of football, but it'll be feisty, but you expect that. And we're going up against a decent side, to be fair, who've only lost once this season so far. I actually did a podcast yesterday with Aaron Paul and Joby McAnuff, and I was banging the drum then about, posh supporters, Peterborough United supporters, if you've got nothing to do, come down to Peterborough Sports, because come and join us and make it a lively environment, make it a hostile environment, make it uncomfortable if you want for the opposition, which Peterborough United fans always do. Whenever I've been there to their stadium, it's always been hostile, it's always been, they're good people, they welcome you there, the Peterborough people, they welcome you there, and then once the kick-off goes, they're different people. That's what we want. We needed to make it competitive. We need to make it a lively environment so we can hopefully put our best foot forward and get a result. So
finally then, Phil, since you've been here, nearly a month in, there's been lots of change in personnel. There's been players coming in and players starting to leave the club now. How frustrating has that been for you?
It's always frustrating when you come to a new club, because you know that there's nothing different between me and Gashi in terms of, we're managers, we think management, we think about winning games of football and try to plan that out. But no 2 managers are the same with regards to one player. I can have an opinion about you and Gashi will have an opinion about you, and it may be different. You might be a world beater, you might be Messi, but we'll still have an opinion about you and it might be different. And it probably will be different, but that's management. It's just, we can put the same team out and they'll play in a different way. It's just the beauty of football. I'm fascinated by it, and hence the reason why I'm still in it and still trying to get that winning formula. But as I say, if you can get to a 40% win ratio between now and the end of the season, that will be enough for us to be in this division, and that will be the job done. But I don't just want to stay in this division. I want to get us turned around and playing the right kind of football so that the place can actually fill up with people that are coming to see a good game. But at the same time, you leave a Kidderminster Harriers team that's got a spattering of some of the players that I brought in. I know what they're capable of. They'll be a decent team, it'll be a tough game, there's no doubt about it, but we're here to win it. That's all I'm going to say. However we win it, whether it's playing good football or whether it's just going to be a battle, we're here to win it.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us, Phil. Good luck on Saturday, and let's hope we can settle that score.
Thank you.